everybody. Ooh,
Hi,
I can't even
everybody.
speak today.
Hi, all out there. How are you, Drina?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy to be with you and be able to share some more information with our friends out there.
I know, me too. And I'm happy that we're getting closer to the end of the semester.
Right? Yeah. I hope everybody out there is doing okay and feeling that their pressures will be alleviated soon.
Yes.
Because I know it can be really real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with that, we're like excited to be able to share, some updates in our department with folks. And then also, I think we're really focusing on some myth busting.
Yes. Right? Yes. We want to kind of some questions that normally come up that students, or even not just students, like even, some of our colleagues may think like, oh, we thought this is what's going on, but in reality, it can be something completely different.
Yeah. So let's hop to it with Mythbuster number 1.
All right. So for Mythbuster number 1 is one of the things that we normally get is a lot of students sometimes think that they need to be full-time students in order for them to be receiving their, to be qualifying or receive financial aid. And that's not always the case, which is good news for some students, because I know like in the past, some students hold back from applying because they think like, I'm not signed up for full-time classes, so there's no point of me to fill out my FAFSA or my California DREAM Act application.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you're right. There's so much aid that actually that students certainly don't need to be full-time, and students can even be in as few as 6 units or even a half a unit to still qualify. So the takeaway with that is apply and, don't let your units, the amount of units that you're enrolled, be the thing that holds you back. And remember too that how much units you're enrolled, that can change. Sometimes students add classes throughout the way, and actually adding to that is that sometimes then that means your financial aid can change too. So if you're adding units, and it might enhance your eligibility, but most certainly don't need to be enrolled full time to qualify. We're really lucky to be able to offer.
We always like to say that no matter what, always apply for the application. It's a free application at the end of the day. And, whether you think you're going to qualify or not, you would be very surprised sometimes that maybe you will qualify for something. I think that's a great point, Lauren, that you brought up, where sometimes there has been students where they're signed up for 1 or 2 units and they end up receiving some type of financial aid.
Who doesn't need an extra couple dollars or a couple hundred or a couple thousand?
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds dramatic, but it's 1000% true. We've seen it. And
it does happen often. And again, it's just one application that takes maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and then possibly you might be getting money for it. So it makes it worth it, if you ask me, to apply.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, well then jumping into Mythbuster number 2. Sometimes people say, I submitted my application, so I'm done. That's a little bit of a myth. And that is to say that often once a student submits their application, they then, sometimes we are able to just keep that train moving, and we're able to award financial aid and get them the funds that they earn, that they deserve. But then sometimes it doesn't just end at the submission of the application. Sometimes students are required to provide additional documentation. And that's always been the case. Mm-hmm. But as you and I know, Drina, in these last couple of years with COVID, we've been fortunate to remove some of these requirements that the government had in place. And so the idea behind that was that you've got, everyone's experiencing unique circumstances. And so in an effort to make the financial aid process easier, the government removed some of these procedures. Now that public emergency has been lifted, we're kind of back where we were, and students are required to provide, in some cases, some additional documentation.
Yeah, we're going back to normal, whatever normal is nowadays. It's a little bit different for everybody, but yes, like normally during this time, it's a good reminder to the students to check your emails, stay on top of your emails. Most of the communication will be coming to you through email, like if you need to submit anything additionally, or if you need to sign, you know, whatever it is, check your email that you have on file with us, or even through your student portal. It's really important. Like, it's really nice because the student portal will also have a little inbox in there, and it'll send you messages through there. So this really is the best time to kind of start checking your emails, especially as we're getting into the new year.
And we should commend our students, because we started sending out notifications of students who are required to provide additional documentation to us a few weeks ago, and students were responding.
Yeah.
So of course, there's still a good amount of students who are not yet responsive, but that's okay because they're finishing their spring classes. They're busy. But for those who have been responsive, they are that much more prepared for fall. Mm-hmm. And so those of you who are going to finish out your spring term and then hop into, fixing up your financial aid, hats off to you too. You can do it. It's reasonable sometimes to just be able to go sequentially. But like Drina said, check your email, stay on top of that. You can always log into your My Financial Aid portal. You'll always be kept up to date there. And then your submission of documents will always happen in the student forms. And so between those two items and our email communication, you really are being supported so that, our students are able to get what they need in time for the start of the fall semester.
And it's also a really good reminder also for everybody out there to know that even though summer's coming, we are still here during summer. So there might not be as many students here, but we are here. Financial aid office will still be open. The only difference is that we will be open Monday through Thursday, but we'll be here. So call us, email us, come visit us to our office, especially if you have any questions with verification documents. Like, we get it. It's going to be new to a lot of students what this verification processing can be.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. And so in terms of the documents, like Drina said, it's often called verification. So really it's verifying information that you've provided on your FAFSA or your DREAM application. And so sometimes with that, we're asking for a tax form, proof of high school graduation, things like that. So those are items that you may want to have readily available that you will eventually scan and upload into student forms. Like I said, we'll notify our students when they're required to. Not all students are required to. So just know that can be a little bit of an additional step. And until a student has completed those pieces, until they have submitted and our team has reviewed their submissions, the student won't be eligible yet for their financial aid. So that's again why I said we want our students to be best prepared and finish all of this before the start of the fall semester, so that by the start of the fall, our students are ready to go. They are ready for disbursement and won't have to worry about financial aid, can focus on your classes as it should be.
Yeah.
So myth buster number 3, sometimes people think that there's no limit on how long a student can receive financial aid. And in fact, there are limits. So without going deeply into the timelines, because they do vary based on the kind of award and the type of financial aid a student's receiving, the rule of thumb is just to know that financial aid isn't just endless. It's not that students can just receive it anytime, anywhere, at any point.
Yeah.
The governments, the state, there are different policies that allow a student to receive it for a certain amount of time. So with that, we are encouraging students all the time to just, as Drina said, come visit us, give us a call, email, check in. It's always okay to say, where am I in terms of the length that I can receive financial aid?
Just like most students in our office, everybody's different. Every case is different. So that's why we're just kind of we can't give a specific timeline because like Lauren mentioned, everything is different. And same thing, like with every student, everything can be different. So if you kind of have any little doubt in your mind, like, oh, I wonder where I'm at, how much have I used? Yeah, we're here again, like just contact us and we're always happy to answer those questions. Or if you have any individual questions as well, you could always call us and ask us more about it.
Yep. And we're available for appointments too. So sometimes with questions like that, like where am I in terms of my time frames? Sometimes questions like that can be a little bit more in depth, or like you might really need that one-on-one support. And, in general, a student's going to have one-on-one support. That's what makes our office special. But, if you really want some dedicated time where you don't feel any rush, you're able to really explore. Also, if you're looking to transfer, these are areas where we'll really be able to help support our students. And we are excited to be able to do that because we want our students to receive financial aid. We want them to receive it for as long as possible. And, knowing these things ahead of time or along the way can really benefit the student. And that's truly what it's all about.
Yes, I agree.
So with that, we can conquer some more myths down the road, but I think those are our biggest ones that we
especially getting closer now with spring semester ending and getting closer for the new academic year, the 23-24. We thought it was important to kind of like touch base on these myths. Yeah. So we really hope that these are helpful and that you just contact us. Like, I think that's like the biggest thing for us to really have everybody, like, if there's any questions, whether it's the smallest question or a complicated question, like call us and we are always here to help, or come visit us. Please come visit us. We like people. Yeah. It'll be nice to see more faces here on campus, but we're always available. And also, the application is open for the 23-24 school year. It's still going to be open. You can apply all year round. So if you haven't applied yet, come visit us. If you need that one-on-one, we're here to help.
Yeah, it's not too late to be considered. And so congratulations to our graduating class.
Yes, congrats.
Yeah, super exciting, and we wish everyone the best out there. We look forward to seeing folks during the summer and as we approach fall. And also, Drina, happy anniversary. We've been doing this for a whole year now.
Has it been a year? It really hasn't felt like it, but happy anniversary.
Conversations with the broader community and with you, Drina, it's always very special. So happy anniversary.
Yes, that's so awesome. Well, I'm happy to do this. It's always nice to spread awareness and hear other people's stories. I think that's just one of the most important things.
Yes. Well. Yeah. Being able to connect with our community in this newer way has been really special. And I'm so excited to see what this next lineup will.
And honestly, the support we've gotten, like with all of our guests who have come on, who have shared their stories, we're so grateful.
Oh my gosh, yes, I think I'm almost always tearing up at some point.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we feel it. Yeah. Awesome. Yes. Well, thank you. Thanks everybody out there.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great summer.
Cheers all.
Bye.